Hi and welcome to Active Bryant Fitness Systems. I'm Scott Bryant and I just want to talk about invisible man boxing or shadow boxing. Now, shadow boxing in the mirror is a great idea to look at form, technique, and to keep your fitness level up and to keep your reaction level up. But the same in a dojo is that if you're doing any form of martial art, unless you're doing full contact, you don't really learn fuck all. Like, I was a nightclub bouncer for over 16 years. I worked at Bagley's, I worked at Ministry of Sound, I worked at the Capital Club, I worked at Billy Mulligan's in Kilburn, I worked all over London and in lots of Essex clubs as well. And what I learned on the door is reaction and how to react and not to react. And if you read the book, Fear the Friend of Exceptional People by Jeff Thompson, you learn in that book that some people go into fight or flight. So if I was to tap you on the shoulder and say, you're leaving now, you would either go into runaway mode or you would go into aggressive mode and want to fight. Now, the bigger percentage of people that go out night clubbing or are pissed up just want to have a good time. Not many want to fight the doorman, because if you're a doorman, you're pretty tasty at what you do. You know how to fight. If you don't know how to fight, you should never be on the door, because you're protecting the establishment as well as the other guys that you work with. I worked with James Ebola, who was heavyweight boxing champion. He fought Mike Tyson. He was a gentle giant. He was a lovely guy. I met some other real animal guys that I knew that if it kicked off, they will be there for me and I would be there for them 100%. And what I'm saying about martial arts and boxing, it's all right hitting a bag and doing shadow work, but unless somebody is hitting you back, you're not going to learn how to dodge, weave and get out of the way, if that makes any sense. And this is what I found with a lot of martial artists. A guy that I knew, he done Wing Chun. And he said he was brilliant at Wing Chun. But I grabbed him at the train station when he wasn't looking and got him in a chokeout hold. So his Wing Chun was useless because he didn't have that reactional speed and never had a real fight. And this is what I found with a lot of martial artists. I say, how long have you been doing a martial art then? Oh, I've been doing a martial art for 20 years. All right, so you've been doing a martial art for 20 years. How many times have you been on the cobbles and had a fight? I've had fights in Leicester Square. I've had fights in Soho. I've had fights in Embankment. I had my nose broken in Embankment. So, just see my point. There's no point doing shadow boxing. If you're doing it to keep fit, it's completely fine. But if you never have a real fight, you don't know how you're going to react. And most real fighters that have had many fights will give you the death stare and they'll be getting in a stance. They'll be getting their hands up, ready, if they know they're going to have a fight. Or you'll get the other type of guy like myself. No, mate, don't want any problems, go away, but you're ready with your hands up. Does that make sense? So really, I believe, and there was a guy in Essex, and he used to teach martial arts, and he was well known for running security businesses as well. But if you was to do martial arts with him, he would take you on for a run. And you'd be running around, and he'd be hiding in the bushes. And he'd jump out, and he'd beat the fuck out of you if you'd let him. And he said that, and I agree 1,000%, this is the way that you learn when you get hurt, or when you're having a real person attack you. So if you see Steven Seagal in his movies, he does all the same thing. Rimi Tenkan gets out of the way, gets them in a lock or a hold and gets them on the floor. But it was always the same and it was choreographed in every single movie. And in real life, it doesn't happen like that. So if you come up against a guy that's a Muay Thai guy, he may not punch you, he may just kick you and get you out of the way. If you get an Aikido guy, like I did Aikido for 2 years, I learned a lot of stuff. Some of it works and some of it doesn't. If somebody's coming at me with rage, I just stand to the side and push them away. But if it was a boxer with a broken nose, or a cage fighter, or a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, I know that he's going to want to get me on the floor. So I'm keeping my distance, I'm staying away. And I might jab him or do whatever. But 90% of the time, in my opinion, guys that know martial arts and are very good at martial arts never look for fights. And they will always do what I do. Mate, don't know trouble, don't know fighting, but you're ready if you need to, because you're a lethal weapon. If you've been doing martial arts for many, many years, and you get into a fight and you hurt the person, then it comes out in court that you're a martial artist and you really do that guy some damage, that's prison. So that's why you have to be very, very careful. With myself, I don't look for trouble. I don't go for trouble. Sometimes it comes and finds me and I have to go, no, mate, don't no trouble. Just, just carry on with your day or apologise. Even if I'm not in the wrong, just to keep the peace. And this is where it's really important to understand. I've heard guys go, oh, I could smash him, I could smash her, I could do this, I could do that. But it's just all lip service. The ones that can do it, don't brag about it and don't put it out there. They keep it within themselves. They have this aura, this confidence about themselves that they don't need to go there. And when I was a doorman, if you was to come to my bar and I got a gut reaction, I wouldn't let you in, even if you was the king, because it's my gut reaction. And this is what many people don't understand, is that when you're doing a job of violence, you're paid to give out violence if needed. This is when you go by your gut reaction. That's why you have the head doorman. The head doorman is normally the calmer guy, but the head doorman is looked upon and keeps the team safe and together. And the head doorman always makes the call on the front door. Yeah, you can come in, you can't come in. Does that make sense? And people get really angry when they can't get into a club. And it's simply because of their ego, and they may have been embarrassed in front of their girlfriend or something like that. But the doorman is not doing it to be an arse. He's doing it because he's going by his gut reaction and how that person is being. So as somebody's walking to the door, if somebody's all over the place, you're not going to let them in because they're drunk. And they're going to get more drunk and cause a problem. Even mates I've let in that have got drunk and we've had to kick them out. So this is what a lot of people don't understand, and they think all doormen are just bullies and thugs. But they're not. A lot of doormen I've known over the years are very grounded, honest, decent people, just wanting to earn a living, and it comes that they're just good at fighting and they end up on the door. And really, the way I look at it, being a doorman is highly dangerous, and the money that they get paid, £10, £8 an hour, is not enough for your own life. And that's why I quit over 27 years ago now. And it was the best thing I ever did, because it was quite a negative job, as in you're always in fight or flight. You don't know what's going to happen. Somebody can pull a knife out at you and a gun on you. James Ebola was telling some guys not to smoke cannabis in the bar. They come back and shot him dead. That's how dangerous that job is. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't be just a shadow boxer or an invisible ghost boxer and give it all that. You've got to spar. You've got to get on the mat. You've got to do things, or go and work on the door and see what happens then. And then you'll find out whether you're a real fighter or not, or whether you're the one that's hiding in the toilet or talking to the bird when it kicks off. Thanks very much. Speak to you again soon. Bye.